Gang, today we want to talk through some of the biggest challenges that Jim faced in acquiring different dealerships, how he knew when to make certain decisions, when not to, the value of people and the importance of them in roles, and the importance of understanding your capital as you move forward in growing your business. This is a really important episode because Jim gives nuggets into why he made certain decisions, how he moved on some intuition and how that was important, and when to make the move. So I really think you're going to glean a lot from this episode. Before you jump in, look in the comments, leave us a comment about how you're trying to grow, whether it's your business, whether it's your sales. We would love to know and support you. Tune in. This is going to be a great episode.
How you can be the greatest salesperson on the planet.
Welcome to the Rethink Sales Show. My name is Derek Kelly. I am joined by Jim Shorkey.
Thank you.
And Jim, welcome to season 7 of the Rethink Sales Show. That is phenomenal.
It is.
Behind us, you all can see we have a brand new set. And this speaks to the reality of the Rethink You 2.0 course that we teach.
It does.
This is emblematic of years of work and labor and strategy and planning and failing and learning.
Yep.
And that's a lot of what I wanted to talk about in this episode. When you faced those big challenges, how did you know the right move to make? Let's use an example of when you bought Kia. I know it was one of your turning points among many is getting into Kia and some of those other dealerships. How did you know? I guess talk through, and this can be a longer answer, talk through how you knew when to make certain moves. Do I buy this dealership? Do I not? Do I buy this franchise? Do I not? Do I open another location? Do I not? How did you know to make those moves?
That's a very deep, perplexing question you just asked me. I don't know. But I can't speak to Kia. What happened was I had an opportunity to trade my Jeep franchise at the time for the Kia franchise. And so I was talking to the local Kia dealer, and I'm a Jeep dealer, and we were having a talk, and a wonderful man. I'm going to leave his name off the table, but a wonderful man. And we're talking, and we're gentlemanly, we're friends, and we're trying to make this deal work.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm going to trade my Jeep franchise. I'm going to get the Kia franchise. But in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm a Suzuki dealer. It's one of the biggest Suzuki dealerships in the United States of America. We were really hitting it out of the park and doing really well with Suzuki. In my mind, I'm thinking, like, what do I need Kia for? What's Kia? What do I need them for? And so I was vacillating back and forth as to whether I really wanted to do this. And so that's what we're doing. And then as this happens, my think tank meeting was scheduled. So I go to the meeting.
Wow.
And I'm there with my daughter, Katie. And this is right out of Think and Grow Rich. It's called a Mastermind Alliance. And per the recommendation of Mr. Hamilton, is how I got to this thing. He said, you should join. We call it a 20 group in the car business.
Brilliant advice. Brilliant advice. Yeah.
Because you should join a 20 group. So I did some searching, and I got this 20 group. And again, in essence, according to Napoleon Hill, it will be called a Mastermind Alliance. So I'm at the meeting, and this is probably, I don't know, 10 years after Mr. Hamilton gave me an advice, 7, 8, whatever. But anyways, I'm there, and Katie's there, and we're sitting next to each other. And I've got this deal on the table with Kia. And one of my very close friends from the group, who will go unnamed, had just purchased Kia. And he's bouncing off the walls about Kia. He is so excited. He was just in Korea and what this company represents and what they're all about and this and that and up and down. He's an enthusiastic guy anyways. He was enthusiastic times 10. And he announced to the group, now this is all private information, so that's why I'm not going to disclose it. He announced to the group what he paid for the franchise. And I'm like, what? He paid that much? It's a big number.
So it was a lot.
It was a big number, just. I wrote a note to my daughter, and I elbowed her, because we're in a meeting. You don't slid this note to her. And on that note, it said, we got to get Kia. And I went back, and I called my guy. And I said...
Did she nod when you gave her the note? Was she like...
Oh, yeah, obviously. We need it.
This was the next move.
I went back, and I made the deal.
Yeah.
And I got Kia. Or I should say, we got Kia. We got Kia. And we no longer were a Jeep dealer. And we went on to become one of the biggest Kia dealerships in the United States of America as well. We really did well with
So
Kia.
what do you think prompted you to make that decision? Was it the guy's enthusiasm? Was
Yes.
it the values he was explaining? Like what?
I think it was a combination of, it was something I was already working on, quite frankly. It intrigued me, like I could get another dealership, basically. And by the way, as part of this deal we were making, I was going to get a building too.
Yes.
So I had a place to put the Kia franchise. Okay. And so it was just one of those deals where I did want to get bigger. I did have, at the time, 3 children involved in the business They were very serious about it and going forward. And I just felt like I needed to have more opportunity for them as well.
Yes. Yeah.
So it was a whole combination of things. So like we talk about with Rethink You,
Yeah.
if you want to be healthy, just to be healthy, I don't think that's a good enough reason. But when you factor in your significant other, and you want to be healthy for him or her, that takes on a new meaning now. Or you factor in your children. I want to be there for them if you have children. Or you want to be able to take your dog for a walk 10 years from now, but you're on the wrong path. Do your reasons why make you cry? We talk about that a lot.
Yes, that's right.
The beach house stays. So do your reasons why make you cry as to why you want to be healthy. So the reason that I wanted to get bigger was because of my children.
Yeah.
And I had a personal ambition as well, no doubt. But it was really the children. I had this idea, and I wanted to pursue that. So now we're a Kia dealer, and we put our Suzuki mentality into Kia, and it didn't work. It didn't work.
What was that mentality?
And advertising, stocking, training, sales, so the whole, everything we did to be one of the top
That's your bread and
Suzuki-
butter. You thought that would work.
Anyways, so everything that I wanted to do with Kia, I felt that what I did with Suzuki would work. So I plug in all my stuff.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If Rethink You works for Marshall, then Rethink You should work for Luke.
Yeah.
And if it works for Marshall and Luke, then it should work for Derek. And now we have 3.
Right.
And if it works for Billy Bob, it should work for Joe. And we keep going. Now, do you know of anybody that has done Rethink You 2.0 the right way, exactly as we dictate, that it didn't work with?
Can't think of a single person.
There you go. So that's the proof, right? So I have this proof, one of the biggest Suzuki dealerships in America. I ought to be able to plug my stuff in, and Kia would also do the same thing.
Yeah,
I remember this like it was yesterday. I knew it was going to work. I have a massive chill right now, and so I kept with it. Persistence with a good plan is essential. Everything we did with Suzuki, we did with Kia. So I proceeded. It worked. And I'm literally somewhere, I think it was Las Vegas, but don't hold me to that. I'm somewhere for the Kia National Meeting. Okay? And I'm one of the biggest Kia dealers in the country. I'm getting the pats on the back and, hey, way to go, and handshakes and everything. Hey, you got to meet this guy. This is Jim Shorkey. He, blah, 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 blah. And my Kia guy comes up to me, and he's literally crying. He says, Jim, I am so sorry. I can't believe I tried to talk you out of your plan. I'm so sorry. I said, look, forget about it. Oh, just give it. I said, forget about it. I said, I knew it was going to work. I knew it. And that's why I didn't change it.
Yes.
That is an absolute fact.
Yes.
So Kia has been really good to the Jim Shorkey family. And we have been really good to the Kia family. But should I have made that deal way back when?
Yes.
Yes. What can I do today that my future Jim Shorkey is going to say, well done, Jim? One of those things I did was to get Kia.
You took a big risk, and it paid off.
So back in 2008 was the worst time, one of the worst times in the history of America in terms of economically speaking.
And you had Kia at this time, right?
Yeah. It was the Great Recession.
Yep.
And things were really bad. And so there were a lot of situations where dealerships were no longer able to sustain it. They didn't make it, right? And so the dealership that I traded Jeep to, for whatever reason, didn't make it.
Oh, yeah.
So I solicited Chrysler to represent their product in North Huntington, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
And based on my record with Suzuki and Kia, they gave me the go-ahead. Wow. So I got my Jeep franchise back. I got Chrysler, Dodge, Ram as part of the deal.
Yes.
And what do you think I paid for all that? Zero. I put that in the building that I got as part of that original transaction. We had already built it, I think at that point, don't hold me to that, but we built a new building for Kia. So down the road is the Kia dealership. Brand new, state of the art. We built it from the ground up.
Yeah.
Bought the property from Mr. Hamilton.
Wow.
And I put the Kia building
That's a
there.
cool story.
And it's there. They've expanded. They've made it twice as big as it was when I was there.
Wow. And
the Chrysler building has been totally redone as well. We had to do that. That's one thing we did have to do. So when I say zero, we had to build a Chrysler specification building, which was very expensive.
Yes.
But I had the wherewithal to do that, and I did. Yeah. And so that dealership is still there where it came when I was there. But that's again, it gets bigger, right? So you say, how did you do this? If you have an opportunity to get a franchise like Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram truck, we did, and we got it. And so now we have Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram truck in North Huntington, Pennsylvania. Across the road is Mitsubishi, which is where Suzuki went bankrupt in America. You might think that was a problem. It wasn't. So now there's Mitsubishi there. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram truck is where I said it was. And then down the road is Kia.
Yes.
And then I bought Ford from a good friend of mine, Kevin Sargent. I bought Ford, and Ford is where the Chrysler dealership would have been originally.
Yes.
That's now in North Huntington. So now there's Oldsmobile was where Mitsubishi is.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
That was the original, my dad and mom, the founding principals. That's all locked up, and the Ford dealership is doing very well.
Great.
And the Chrysler dealership is doing very well, and Mitsubishi is doing not as good as the other two, but it's doing its thing, and we'd like it to be doing, or they would like it to be doing better.
Yeah.
Kia's a home run. They've
Brand rank in the past 20 years is just...
It's unreal. It's quite a force to be reckoned with. And I got Kia, and I was still the principal at the time, Kia and Mitsubishi in Uniontown, and I got those on an open point meeting. Kia wanted to go into Uniontown, and I was their guy.
Yeah.
And so I got that for free as well.
Yeah.
It was an open point.
So
I had to build a building, which I did.
Talking to people who are facing these challenges of whether they're growing their business or they're growing their sales or they're taking risk, it seems if you can figure out the math and understand all the pieces to it, and you know it's the right decision, you should just make the decision.
You got to be careful.
Or do you have more advice around that?
What is the math? What is the math? You tell me. I'm asking you a question. What is the math?
From what I've heard you say before, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I've heard you say that you had X amount of capital, 6 months to a year of working capital.
That's the math.
And you knew, hey, this might cost me X more than I thought it would to acquire Kia. That guy gave you a big number. This might require X more than I thought it would. But I have that capital, and I know that Kia is a rising brand, and if I can stay with it, I know over time my plan is going to work.
The caution I would throw to the wind right now is when you just understand expanding your business absolutely, positively can bankrupt you because you run out of cash. And so you need to have excess cash. It's called working capital. So you have excess cash so that when things don't, because we're optimists, we're in the car business, we're optimists. Things are going to work out great. They don't always work out great. There's blips, there's short-term this, that. When I first got Kia, it didn't work out great, but I had the cash to sustain it.
Yeah.
And so that's, to answer your question, cash is king. You gotta keep your finger on the pulse of your cash and your working capital. And if your working capital is not at the proper level, then you don't go for expansion. You're going to go broke.
Wow.
You're going to go broke. You can't do it. So just to pick some round numbers, these are round numbers. They mean nothing. If your expenses, total expenses of your business, whatever that is $100,000 a month, multiply that number times 3, gives you a number of $300,000. That is the minimum amount of cash that you want to have in the bank at any given time to run your business. So it's cash in the bank. It's called working capital so that with the ebb and flow of business, where you have your good days, your bad days, your good weeks, your bad weeks, you can take cash from your account to run the business and then just replenish it as the business goes back up again. Wow. That's the minimum. I would prefer to be at 600 grand, which is 6 months, and bulletproof is $1 million. So you have $1 million in the bank, and now you got something to talk about.
That's right. Yeah.
I made a statement to my people back in the 2000. It sounds like I'm bouncing around. I'm not. 2008 recession. I knew it was I knew it was happening. The car business, the new car business, went from 16 million units down to 12 million. We lost 4 million people. That's a lot of people to lose. And I said to my people that I could lose a large amount of money, and I knew I could. And I told them what the number was. I'm not going to tell you. I could lose a large amount of money, and I would be fine. I would be okay. I would survive. Do I want to lose that number? No. Would I prefer to lose half that number? Absolutely. Do I want to lose that number? No. I prefer to lose another half. But really, I didn't want to lose any money at all.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be aggressive. And I'm not going to get off into that, but I wanted to be aggressive with every aspect of my business versus I wanted to be expanding mentally versus expression, depression. We were in a depression. Things go down. People get sad. People get anxiety. Everything's bad. It's a depression. And so I wanted to be expressive. And so that's what I did. And I had the cash to do it. So when I went in with Kia, I knew my cash position. And when I went to Uniontown with Kia, we're talking now about a startup. The failure rate of startups is close to 80%.
Yeah.
They'll make it. They just don't make it. It's close to 80%. Google it. Look it up. So we entered into this business. We're so optimistic and we're so happy and we're so excited that we got our new business and we're going to do this thing. The failure rate is 80%. So if that's true, when I opened up the dealership in Uniontown, there was an 80% chance or thereabouts that it was going to fail. It was a startup. That's what it was. It was a startup in a new town. It was literally 45 minutes from my home base. Wow. It was a startup. I had to put people in there. And it turns out that it didn't fail. Obviously, it's doing great. But it could have. And so if it did fail, if I dropped that big amount of money, I was prepared.
Thank you, Jim, for just sharing about the value of knowing what to do in those hard situations, and having the money on hand and thinking about the capital and thinking about the strategy and thinking about the people like Bill, thinking about the people in that process and knowing that things may fail, like the possible Mitsubishi failure, having all of those strategies and plans in your head and knowing that, hey, some of them are going to work, some of them may not.
That's right.
Thank you, guys. We'll